Hi guys, I want to show you a little video here, try and explain something about why we sometimes have skip stitches when we sew through multiple layers of vinyl. Haven't got the sewing machine here, but we can still show you how a stitch is formed and why it sometimes doesn't work. This is set up just the way the needle would be at your sewing machine. The thread comes through this way and goes to that side. This is the side where the scarf is, the little cutout in the needle where the hook is going to pass through and catch. Now, after your needle goes through the material, when it's coming back out again, as it comes out, it makes a loop in the thread there. That's what your hook catches into. But vinyl is very grippy. It wants to hang on to that needle. And if your foot pressure is too light, sorry, trying to do this and be able to hold this. But anyway, if your foot pressure is too light, when the needle comes up, it pulls the fabric up a little bit. And the loop isn't made. And then when the needle gets high enough that the foot finally holds it down, then the loop is made, but it's too late. The hook has already gone by. You've missed your timing. So that's why it's important to make sure that your fabric doesn't lift even a little bit when your needle's coming back up. Your presser foot has to hold it down. Now, one of the main times this happens, other than going through thick fabric that's very grippy, one of the other times it happens is when you're coming down a hump. You've gone through 6 layers of fabric and you're going down to 2 or 4 layers of fabric, and there's a gap there where the fabric can move up and down. The needle goes down, presses the vinyl all the way down to the bottom as it goes through, and as the needle comes back up again, there's room for the fabric to come up because the foot is still hung up on the thicker layers behind it. This is why we use a hump jumper to press that fabric down and make sure it's going to stay down as the needle comes up. Whenever the fabric comes up with the needle, instead of staying down flat, we call that flagging. Flagging is the #1 cause of skip stitches because your loop just isn't being made. So make sure that you're always keeping your fabric down on the surface, not coming up for any reason. If you're going through thick fabrics and you're really having trouble with it, you can actually turn your wheel by hand. And as it starts to come up again, use your stiletto or something to hold the fabric down to make sure it doesn't come up. Or hold your finger on the front of the presser foot if you're on a level surface. If you're not coming down off a hump, hold your finger on the front of the presser foot and press down on it to make sure it keeps that fabric down. Then you won't have this situation where you're coming up a little bit and not making the loop at the first. When the fabric is held still, every time I get my hand there, it blurs the image. When the fabric is held still, the loop is formed as soon as the needle comes up and the hook catches it. So that's what flagging is. That's how it causes skip stitches. And I hope this helps someone. Thanks.